So it's me, Princess Maggie. It is very, very cold in South Africa right now, but I thought I would pop in and start doing our training videos now. So these are just general tips and stuff I found that work really great in the party princess industry. This is definite for if you're working for our company, but it may be if you're working with other companies. Please make sure that everything that you do is exactly in the guidelines of whatever your company does. Do not carry my company as a Bible. I am in South Africa. We have worked with completely different ideals than a lot of other countries do. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. This will really be very general, but these are a few stuff that we believe works for our company. Okay, so step one, we're going to get started with Princess Maggie's experiences and our vision. So we as Princess Maggies aim to bring magic back into the world by accessing the magic in kids and strengthening it by bringing their favorite character to life. We aim to provide the most realistic, movie-accurate characters to South Africa. We believe that children hold all the magic, passion, and imagination in their eyes, and we help keep the magic, ensuring a more creative and beautiful future. Princess Maggie's is not just an entertainment company. None of what we do is ever just entertainment. We sell an experience. It's unparalleled by any other entertainment, and as a brand, we hold ourselves to a very, very high standard. This is why training is important, so you can take as much pride and magic in as we create as I do. So I want you guys to be at the same level as I do. So I never want the clients to be like, no, I want you specifically. Like, I want them to be okay with knowing that every single one of my entertainers is going to be as perfect and as passionate about this whole story as I am. I mean, to me, of course, it's always going to be more because, like, this is my income, this is my business, this is my baby. But you guys can instill some hope and some passion into what you do. And after all, that's what it's all about, having passion. Once you have passion, people will take you more seriously, everything will be more perfect. And in general, it's just a great tip to have a lot of passion and a lot of pride in what you're doing. If you have pride, you'll have more detail into the costume. You'll make sure that your wig and your hair and your makeup and everything is absolutely perfect. You'll make sure your costume isn't creased or your hair isn't tangled and your makeup isn't fading. Like, I'm sorry for the one glove, this is the one I work with and this is the one I don't work with. But yeah, just that passion that we try and instill in this experience is what it's all about. So if you're going to be passionate about what you're doing, then everything will be more perfect. So stop worrying about the fact that maybe you feel like you're not pretty enough to be a Disney princess. No, but none of us look like a Disney princess. Look at me. I mean, like, I'm sitting here, it's winter, I don't want to be like dressed in a ball gown right now. It's cold, so none of us look like Disney princesses. I'm not wearing makeup because I've been in lockdown for 4 weeks. So don't stop thinking that you're not good enough. You are good enough. You're perfect. As long as you are passionate about the character that you're playing and you're passionate about bringing that magic, you will be perfect no matter what. So just instill that passion and the pride, and that's exactly where you want to be. So some of our staff members are cosplayers, maybe you're just a young employee, you're a student, you're a high school kid. Like, I know, I want to help you guys achieve your dreams. If your dream is going to Mauritius for your matric vac, if you are saving up for your wedding, if you are trying to get a little bit of an extra income so you can buy some snacks, I don't mind. This is the perfect place for you to get money for your cosplay supplies, your tuition fees, pocket money, whichever you need it for. But that's not the main purpose. The main purpose is that we are here to make magic, and if we believe that that's our purpose and that's our goal, then this whole thing will be so magical that no one will be able to rival any of these experiences that you give. So our parties include a meet and greet. So that's where the kids meet you and they get hugs and you talk to them and you spend some time with them. It's just a basic little meet and greet. We do a coronation with a beautiful rhinestone tiara, and we also do the princess pledge. or the coronation certificate, that the kids then get a framed version of the certificate after the party, and they can keep that forever, and it's signed by the character, and we have our little royal seal on it. We also sing or lip sync. If you are sick or anything like that, you can lip sync, but we do prefer singing it in person because just a little more authentic than lip syncing. But I mean, if you really can't, it's fine. We play games and activities. Each program is structured around the character, so we'll never have like a generic game that everyone plays. But we have, for example, toss the snowball at Marshmallow and pin the nose on Olaf when you're doing Frozen parties, or when you're doing Tangled parties, we do painting parties, or whatever is necessary to really make that experience super authentic for the kids. We do photographs, of course, we have to be absolutely picture perfect at all times, and we also do face painting. Now, Corona is going to maybe change that a little. We might not be able to get into the close contact that'll mean face painting and hugs and all those things, but just for a little while until we can really be sure that we're safe and that all of the guests that attend are also safe. We also do larger events. They can have the same activities, but they may be more stage performance based than the usual ones, and that is the type of events that will be more structured around for after Corona, just to make everyone feel safe. We'll do everything much more performance based. We'll be singing a lot more, we'll be doing a little speech, we'll do story times, we're doing all kinds of stuff like that. And then we're doing, yes, so this may seem like a big deal to you right now because you're just starting out, you're just like, I'm shy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be a Disney princess, I am unsure about this, like maybe the party princess lifestyle isn't for me, maybe I'm too young, maybe I'm too old, maybe I feel like I'm too big of a size for this princess. And that's the beauty of the Disney princess or the party princesses. I mean, like, I'm not a Disney princess. I wish I was. Do not like doubt that for a second. I wish I was a Disney princess at the Disney parks and everything, but unfortunately I am in South Africa. Auditions like hardly ever happen unless you're going to Cape Town, and you might be able to get an audition for the cruise ships. So yeah, it is a sad tragedy, and I would love to audition and be part of like the college program or something like that, and like I wish I didn't wait this long. So if you want to become a Disney character or a Faith character or even just a cast member, like, you know, they have like, just working at Disney is such an amazing experience, I've heard. So like, I wish I didn't wait this long because I'm turning 24 this year, and they usually like, they don't have a lot of older people working there. So I wish I'd decided to start this a lot sooner. And if you are wanting to do that, make sure to apply. Just like try. Nobody ever won anything without trying. So you go out there and you try out, because if that's your dream, you deserve to achieve it. Anyway, I digress. So yes, I know this seems daunting now before you start and you start looking at all these things that you have to do and all of the acting and stuff. Trust me, it comes natural. Like I said, if you have that passion, it comes naturally, and that is why we train. This is why you're watching this video. So I will teach you as much as I can to uphold this pride, this passion, this goal that we're going through. And if you're doing events or parties or stuff for our company, I will be there every step of the way. Like, I will be on my phone texting you. Like, I'm here for you. Unless I'm at a party myself, then I won't touch my phone, but I'll usually have someone with me and I'll just like tell them to send you a message or something like that. Okay, so as a Princess Maggie's representative, this is something that we do for our company, and I feel like they're really cool tips. It's just a basic list of stuff that I've picked up from a lot of companies, a lot of international princesses on like all of your little support groups and stuff. They've mentioned a few of these things. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to you as a princess representative. This will be for my company, these are rules, as in if you're not upholding them, like you're getting a stern talking to from me. But they're general tips and tricks. These are things that I've heard other princesses, like international princess companies, have been like, yes, I want this in my company, or I only allow this. And everyone has their own rules, but these are general stuff that I've picked up and that I've also looked at if you're looking at the parks and how perfect they are. Just little tips and tricks and stuff that they do that sets them apart, that makes them practically perfect in every way. So it is so important for you to be perfect when you go to a party. Like, it's what separates you from just being a Party City teenager walking in there with a costume. Like, you have to be perfect. Like, your makeup has to be perfect, your hair needs to be perfect, everything. And then once again, back to that pride. Pride is everything. Be proud of what you're doing. And you'll do this naturally. I know that because you guys are wonderful. So the first thing is all characters must own 2 wig caps and wear both of them under the wig. I found that this works best because you want, first, to keep all of your hair intact, and secondly, not to have any weird bubbles when you're wearing the wig. So have like a ball on one side of where your hair is and where it isn't, and like it's all wig prep, and in general, wig prep is one of the most important things. And then your wig cap, your hairline, nothing of that is allowed to show when you're wearing the wigs. It's horrible. Like, it ruins the magic when you are wearing this beautiful, perfectly styled Elsa or Anna or whatever character wig you're wearing and your hair is showing. It ruins the magic completely. Like, just don't do it. There's this really wonderful video by Laura Martino, Magic with Martino, her video. It's called Stop Ruining Your Wigs, and she has a few tips in there that you guys just follow it because it's amazing. Like, she shows you how to prep your hair, she shows you how to pin down your wig so it doesn't fall off or move around in your on your head. She shows you the other thing: never ever ever rip off your wig in the car and throw it into the back seat. Like, I know you're tired, I know you're hot, it's normal. No party princess has ever been 100% comfortable in her costume. I mean, it seems like a glamorous job, but beauty takes pain, sweetheart. So just be uncomfortable until you get home, like, or to wherever you get ready, maybe at your owner's place, wherever you're getting ready. Just never rip off your wig. If you do urgently have to take it off, put it on a wig head in a box so it doesn't roll around in the car or anything. I mean, some of these people are paying a lot of money to style their wigs, and we can't afford like to restyle our wigs every time or wash them or any of that. So just take care of it. Have some pride. Yes. So you'll put it back on the wig head after the party and then put it in a box and keep it safe and clean and everything. Okay, so makeup. Your makeup has to be perfect per character. Like, none of the characters wear the same makeup. Some of them wear similar makeup, but none of them wear the same makeup. So make sure to separate them. A different eyeshadow color. Each character has their own eyeshadow color or their own like lipstick or whatever. There are other elements that are important. With Anna, it's important to have freckles. With Snow White, it's important to have red lips and pink cheeks. So just make sure that your makeup is on a standard where you are convincingly that character. Like, you can't just have this like universal makeup that you do for all the characters. Like, you have to be character specific. And you can look at the parks versions, or if your company has a tutorial that you have to follow, just keep with that makeup. Make sure that your makeup is perfect and clean. Like, don't have any like that messy eyeshadow or too much glitter or anything like that, depending on what your company does. But once again, just remember to have pride in what you're doing. Make sure it's very clean, very immaculate. And if you have a breakout, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure to cover it effectively. Also, if you have tattoos or funny piercings, anything like that, remove your piercings, cover up your tattoos. Just be proud of the character that you're representing. So we wear false lashes. False lashes are what give us princess eyes. None of us have these ginormous eyes naturally. I even had to train my eyes to just stay open completely, like just to have that thing going on. And like none of us have these ginormous eyes, but false lashes help us to show these eyes. So wear false lashes. That's like natural. You can wear colored contact lenses if they are approved, if they look natural. I'm sure you can wear colored contacts. My company allows colored contacts because they look pretty and they add to character integrity. Everything has to add back to that character integrity. So yes, just if you are wearing colored contacts, maybe check with your boss. Are these the right color? Do they look natural? Check with a few people. If you have kids at home, like wear the contacts and ask them, do they look natural? If they're like, oh, I don't know what you mean, then like you're in the right direction. So yes, be sure that you are wearing everything that's natural and that matches character integrity. Jewelry. If you have any necklaces, extra earrings, stuff that don't match the characters, take them off. Like, don't wear that at the party. Even if you're like married or something, if it's a character who's married, like wear your engagement ring. It's a little added like definition. I'm not married, but I have little engagement rings for each character that just match character integrity, and it just like it adds a little magic because like these kids know these characters are married, so why aren't they wearing rings? And I found that that's like really something, and they'll really get excited about seeing your ring and be like, oh my goodness, it's such a giant diamond and stuff like that. So it's a very cute tip if I have that for people. Something we've been doing with the company for years, and it's really been sweet. And also, if you have a character like Anna who has an engagement ring that looks like a certain way, check if you can find that. Jewelry should always match the character integrity. Okay, tattoos, I did mention cover them up. As long as it's covered, it's not a bother. Okay. So we wear waist trainers or Spanx or whichever one is the most comfortable for you, or a corset or whatever. This is just because these costumes are made to make you look like a Disney princess, and Disney princesses are skinny, super skinny, and like if you wear them, it looks a little better. It adds to that little extra thing. If it's medically impossible, if you're struggling to breathe, you're not wearing it right, or you shouldn't be wearing it. So don't do it. But we do it, and I found that it also helps with my posture. If I'm going to stand at a party all day, my back gets incredibly sore, and the corsets have helped with that in the past. I don't know why, but it works. So, and then make sure that you're wearing the appropriate underwear. If your character has a like very light dress and you are wearing a black bra with straps that are showing, it's gonna look horrible. Just wear the appropriate underwear for the costume that you're wearing. We do nails. Okay, so in terms of nails, I try to not go too long, too intense, but this is once again, all of these things open to your company. If you guys are fine with like fancy nails and sparkly stuff, that's fine. We do 3mm nails, so nothing longer than 3mm, and painted French, light pink, nude, or a slightly sparkly pearl. This is actually my favorite. I use a slightly sparkly pearl because it seems a little more magical than having this like very like average nail color. It seems a little more princessy. So I've had this really nice pearl from Avon that I've been using, and it's really cute. And the kids love it because it's just that added little sparkle. The reason I say not too long nails is because we're face painting, and if you, for example, hold a brush or something and you accidentally scratch a kid, like, you don't want to be that princess who scratched the kid. Like, I once accidentally tripped in front of a kid and she fell over me, and it was very funny, but I to this day dread that day because you never want to be the person responsible for hurting a kid, especially if you're dressed up as a princess. So yeah, so just I keep my nails short for that reason. Okay, and then further, stockings. In winter we wear stockings because it is cold, so that's fine. If you are in a colder country, I would also suggest wearing stockings. They just make you feel a little more comfortable. Even tights under your dress. I mean, like if you fall or something, we all get awkward. We all do these things. Or maybe you are at one of those parties where you end up on the jumping castle. It's not ideal, but it does happen. If you're wearing tights or something like that underneath, it just makes you feel a little more comfortable. And even bloomers, if you can find bloomers that match your characters, that's also a really great tip. Like, wear bloomers under your dresses. It just makes you feel a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable, like not scared anything's gonna show or anything like that. And then appropriate accessories must be worn at the party at all times for the entire duration of the party. If your character wears a tiara, you cannot take off the tiara during some time of the party just because you felt it was uncomfortable. Or this one, it moves, it's too big for me. But you can't just take it off just because it's uncomfortable or something. You have to keep it on for the entire duration of the party. Also, if you're wearing opera gloves, a lot of the characters wear opera gloves, those long gloves that come up to here. You can't take them off during the middle of the party. It breaks character integrity a bit, and you need to wear all of your accessories so you don't lose them. Sometimes we lose accessories too, and that's okay, but I mean, like, you just try and keep it on all the time. And then no costume character may be seen in partial costume ever. Imagine you are driving and you get in an accident and you were Elsa and you ripped off your wig and you threw it in the back of the car, and now you're only wearing the dress and you're not wearing the wig, and you have to get out of the car and kids keep driving past and they see like a girl dressed as Elsa without the wig. It looks weird. Or maybe you have to go to the store. Quick, on your way home you have to stop at the store, or you have to go to a drive-thru. No character may ever be seen without a part of their costume. Always 100% costume. If you're a mascot or something like that, like with the big fur character suits, try and stay in costume for as long as the kids can see you. If you park down the road and get dressed there or something like that, just make sure no one can see you when you're not in costume. Never, ever, ever, ever be partially costumed. It's bad ethics or bad etiquette. Like, just don't do it. And if any of these things go wrong, it's okay. Just learn out of your mistakes. That's the general thing. If anything goes wrong, learn out of mistakes and everything will be okay. Okay, now this is a question I see a lot on these princess forums. So what's going to happen after COVID-19? Like, how is the party atmosphere going to change? So yes, holding hands, hugs, those type of things are going to have to like stop for a little bit. Face painting, yes, but magic endures in all. So as long as the kids don't know that they're missing that, it'll be fine. Just keep going and keep spreading magic the way you can. So sanitize. I know, it's a dirty word by now, funny. So I know, sanitizing, it sounds horrible, but you've got to do it. So sanitizing can be as simple as steaming everything that you have. If you're wearing wigs, you don't have to wash them every weekend, but you do steam them after the party, just like with a gentle like steam all over. It actually helps to settle the style as well, but if you just steam your wigs after the parties, it's a little cleaner until it gets to a point where it is dirty. Wash your wigs at least once a month, I'd say. If it's a character that goes out a lot, wash it once a month. If it is a character that doesn't even go out a lot, wash it after the party. Like, if you have a character that goes out once a year, because we have some of those, Snow White is sitting back there, she's only gone out once. And if it's one of those characters, you can just like wash it every time you use it. So wash it, put it away in a bag, and restyle it just before the party next time. So just keep up with that, sanitizing everything. If you're doing face painting or games or anything, wipe it down with some sanitizer. And just in general, sanitize everything you have. Wash the costumes every time you're wearing them. So just keep everything very clean and very appropriate. I also have this idea of like having little hand wash times between the party, taking the kids with you, making a whole activity of washing hands. So the princess is teaching you how to wash hands and how to clean. You can also have a little bottle of sanitizer, maybe decorate it nicely for the princess and just have it nice, and like you have a little bottle of sanitizer with you the whole time, just to make yourself feel more comfortable. But like masks and stuff like that, it's just not an option with the costumes that we're wearing. So try your best to just sanitize and keep everything as clean as possible. So then, party guest limits. Try and limit your parties to less than 200 people. I know those parties exist, I'm just kidding. But try and go with like 15 people max. Like, this is a tip to parents as well. If you're booking characters, try and stop at 15 people. It's just to keep everyone safer, and plus then you can interact with the character a lot more than with more people. But after all, the show must go on. So before this, we started planning on doing more performance-based parties, and we were super excited about that because, well, now we get to be a little more performance-based. We'll be doing shows and stuff like that. So we decided that with COVID-19 happening and kind of forcing our hands, we decided to do more performance-based parties. So more singing, more story times, stuff like that. And no more being tackled in the beginning of the party and being forced on jumping castles and ruining our wigs and stuff. It's gonna be a lot more, I'm over here and you're over there. You can come take pictures, but like it's gonna be a lot more performance based. And we've been training like crazy in lockdown. Like we've been on video calls constantly. So I'm making this video as well. It's just like we are working hard to get this right, and new people being cast and trained, and we're working on singing and rehearsing, and it's really, really perfect, and we're really working on making this the most magical show on earth. And I think in general it's a good tip for everyone to start trying. Okay, step 1 to finding your inner royal, aka acting. So let's cut right to it. It's time to get up and close to your character. Like from now on, your character's life will be your character. Like you will know the lore, the trivia, the movies that it came from. Like you will watch that movie 2 million times and not be bored. Like here, I got some tips from like this. I think she's a theater YouTuber, Catherine Steele. So she has these few tips and they work really great. So focus on the specific stuff about the character, like who's her dad, what happened to her mom, like those type of things that really, really fill in the character. And then if you don't have a detail, fill it in, make something up. Make sure that you always have a story to tell if someone were to ask you something. Never dance around something, or well, it is possible to dance around something sometimes, like where are your parents if your parents are dead. It's not fun saying, and some kids haven't been explained to exactly what death is and stuff like that, so you don't want to be the person who does that awkward conversation, so you can sometimes dance around something like that and be like, oh no, they're lost at sea or something like that. Just to make it a little softer. I mean, it's a party, keep it upbeat. But yes, you can come up with your own context to the character. So for me, if I think about deleted songs, they're a really great thing to look at when you're working, and just thinking about where your character comes from and just getting into that zone of who that person is and where they come from and what they do and how they would react to things. Every party is different, and you can find inspiration from that party itself. If the kids are more excitable, be a little more excited, even if it's not completely in your character's nature to be super excited. Be a little excited just to add a little love to that character. So step 1 is moving into the party. You're arriving. So your arrival depends on a lot of things, because the kids can be waiting for you at the venue somewhere. How the kids react, if they're a little shyer group, like you might have to do a little more, or if they're a very enthusiastic group, you might be tackled or whatever. But usually we started by having a little song playing, and we come in. If we have like bubble machine or a smoke machine or something, you can switch that on. But of course things change at every party, and every party is different, like I said. So keep adapting, keep coming up with new situations as to what you're doing, but make sure to keep the kids engaged from the get-go, and make sure that you are seen. Like, when you're doing an entrance, make sure that you have the attitude of the character. You have to already have been in the mindset of the character before you got out of your car even. Like, you have to really be into the character and then walk in with that air of that character. I mean, like, if you're Elsa, you've got to swag it in there. If you're Rapunzel, like, skip into the room, like, be that person. And then when you get to the end, do a little pose. Like, I really love when people are doing Elsa and they walk in with their little sass and then they're like just be that character and just live for it, because you are the center of attention. Make sure you keep that attention on you, like, at all times. People are paying good money for this. Keep their attention on you. If there are other activities, it does happen, there's a pony or a petting zoo or something like that, incorporate it into the stuff. Like, be excited about that too, and just spend as much time with the birthday girl as you can. If you're a superhero, you can do flips or jump or like do a cool kick. Like, just do something fun. Don't be boring. Nobody wants to be a boring princess. You want to be great from start to finish. So interacting with kids, that's going to be your... So next step will be interacting with the kids. So this is the most important part of the parties. After all, this is a kids entertainment thing. So never, ever, 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 ever break character. I will say this a million times. Never break character. Don't say something the character wouldn't. Don't say something that like the character like wouldn't say it. Like, just stay in character. Like, give the most child-friendly response to like the most difficult stuff ever. Be like, it's gonna feel weird the first few times. You're gonna stand there like, why am I being this ridiculous? Why do I keep doing this with my hands? Why am I doing this stupid voice? Like, you're gonna ask yourself these questions, but you have to keep thinking on your feet and just get out of your head, because you're gonna overthink it. Like, don't feel weird because you're acting like a princess. Like, just do it. You are a princess. You are that character in that moment. You're not embarrassing yourself. You're not being weird. You're being the character, and that's perfectly normal for the character. Do you think Belle had an issue with the fact that she was weird in her town? No, she didn't. Like, okay, yeah, she had a little bit of an issue. Father, do you think I'm odd? But I mean, she got over it really quickly because she accepted that's who she is. Like, she is the reading girl, and she found someone who loved her for it. So these people love you for the fact that you are full out in that character. Like, there is nothing more fun than convincing an adult that you are the character, but I'll get back to that later. But yes, if you have your phone or something, when you're playing a character, change your wallpaper, change your phone ringtone. And when your phone rings and for the first time in forever start playing, they're like, oh wow, you really like your own song. You're like, yes, I love my song. It's very fun. And that way you never break character, even if your phone rings or something like that. Stage work, yay! So these tips and stuffies can work for all parties and events, but in general they're really great if you attend a really large function and you have some stage stuff going on. So from the moment you appear on the stage, you have to be like that character. This in general, if you appear at the party, you already have to be in character. In fact, if you're calling the mom before the party, already be in character. Like, that is what is going on. Move like the character. Don't stop smiling. Never stop smiling. This little thing needs to be stuck on your face. Like, yay, this is who I am. Make sure you know your little movements that your character makes, their little stances, anything like that. Make sure that you move like your character and you act like your character, and you don't stop smiling because you love kids. And you can wave. Well, if you're like an excited character, you can wave like this. If you're like more a graceful character like Snow White or Cinderella, it's more the window washer. But just keep in character and be excited that you are there. Curtsy, do stuff like that, be fun. And remember that you command the crowd. Like, you are in command of them. So if you say stuff like, when I say let it, you say go. You're like, let it go. It could be awesome. Like, just command that stage. Command your whole party, in fact. Wherever you go, remember you're that character and you have all the eyes on you. And you can do it. It's nothing to be nervous about. It's something to be incredibly excited about. If you're a superhero, run, roll, jump, kick, do something, look cool. Like, practice your walk, the characters walk, the way they walk. Like, Elsa has this little sassy thing, and just like be that character in every like little thing you're doing. You might have to encourage kids to sing along or clap along or answer your questions. But definitely feel free to encourage that interaction on the stage as well. Don't feel like just because you're on stage they have to be separated from you. Now, interacting with adults. Adults can be a difficult topic because you need to be in character while being professional. If anything were ever to go wrong at your party, I would suggest, rather than like contacting them yourselves, contact your owner and have them contact the parents. For example, if you were in a car accident or something and you can't get to the party, contact the owner and have them answer or contact the parents and just tell them, listen, this went wrong with my entertainer, this is what we'll be doing. Because the thing is, you're already in a panic state. Even if you're going to be late, try and contact the owner before you contact the parents and find out what you should be doing. Because you don't want to break policy or change the image of the company or anything like that. But once again, when you're working with adults, don't break character. It is nothing more fun than proving to an adult that you are that character. I've had people believe that I'm from Norway, and that's just fine. But so just make sure that you don't break character. Now, in the rare occasion that something happens that makes you uncomfortable, a dad or someone touching you in a place where you don't want to be touched or saying something inappropriate, make sure to tell someone. Our company has a 2-strike system where once something happens, you go to the mom or whoever is running the party and you tell them, listen, that person is making me feel uncomfortable, or they said this or they said that, but keep it very professional and say like that's not appropriate to say to a princess or something like that. If you have a character assistant with you or something, make sure they do that for you. And if it happens the second time, we have permission to leave. This is a clause in our contract because we have had really horrid stories in the past and we don't want to ever experience that again. So also, once again, before anything happens, before you leave, contact the owner of the company. You want to keep that integrity of the company going. And you don't want an adult to ruin a child's birthday. We also have a thing where if parents want to take pictures with us, this is okay to touch, 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 and if you are comfortable, your waist is okay to touch. But if you're not comfortable with that, don't let them touch you. Like, that is just the way. You just be like, you put your pose in a certain way that people can't really touch you. That's another, yes. But if something happens, leave. Tell the parents, this is my policy. Nobody ever gives you the right to sexually harass anyone. And now, just a final note. Always remember that you are responsible for the magic. So, once again, have a sense of pride in your work. Keep working. Keep practicing until you're at a point where you feel proud of the excellence of your singing and performing or whatever you're doing. Make sure that your costume and hair and makeup is always on point, and you have to be proud of what you're doing. So if you walk out there and you're like, this is the best person I could be today, and never feel you have to compete with anyone else. Compete with yourself. Be better today than you were yesterday. If you're doing 2 parties in a row, they should never be the same. You always have to be better than the last one. Even if you think you're at the top of your mark, I promise you there's probably something you can do even better. So your performance is what makes memories, and you're gonna leave an impact on these kids, on the parents. Everyone loves it so much. So make sure that your performance is as perfect as possible. These characters have this one thing in common. They can bring joy to a lot of people. So if you're able to bring happiness to people, that is a success of a party. Now, general, what I call etiquettes or just making dreams come true of parties is that you are a princess. Now, this is why we coronate our royal family members and make sure that they know that they're royal, because you want them to basically show that pride in everything that they do. So even if they're on social media, even if they're anywhere they can be a representative of your company, I want them to have that pride. So we do a coronation ceremony for each of our royal family members. So in most situations you'll have the main person who plays that certain character, and then you'll have a understudy for that character, and then they each get a little tiara. I haven't done this in a while. I should redo it. I promise I will, guys. As soon as lockdown is over, I'll get you guys your tiaras. But yeah, so we do this little coronation, and this is just general things to remember when you're interacting with princesses, when you're interacting with people in general. Just these are good tips of being a good human, but this is what princesses are. Today you are a princess. Princesses are kind and graceful. They love their kingdom with all their heart and let their beauty shine from within. Be young-hearted, wish often and dream the improbable. Think, believe, dream, and most importantly, dare. Always hold your head high. Let your crown represent your power within. After all, it's not the tiara that makes the princess, it's her kind soul. Spread kindness to others yourself and make friends with animals and respect nature entirely. Always dress yourself with a smile. I hear princes and frogs like that. Have courage. Don't let the cruel break your dreams. Be the change you wish to see in the world. And remember, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Create your own destiny and build trust within yourself. Pave your path and stay curious. Lastly, set your hearts on fire and live passionately in your fairy tale. And may you live magically and happily ever after. So this is just basic things. Always be kind, always be gentle, always be sweet wherever you're going. And make sure that you are the best princess, prince, superhero, fairy, mermaids, whatever you are. Be the best you can possibly be. And know that what you're doing is so much more than just being an entertainer and dressing up and looking pretty. Know that for a moment you have all the power to be magical. Stay magical, royals. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please, if you did, give us a like and maybe subscribe. Thanks so much. Hiya, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like, maybe subscribe, do whichever you like, and I hope I'll see you soon.